Welcome to Create Your Own Economy podcast, the weekly podcast that equips you with the know-hows, the strategies, tools, and resources to create your own economy, grow your business, and live the life you desire. If you have not done so, hit the subscribe button so you will never miss an episode. Hello and welcome. I am your host, Bunmi Ajibade, and today I have a friend. She's an entrepreneur extraordinaire, and she's fondly called Dr. OJ. She's here to share tips that have helped her succeed in running multiple businesses. She is passionate about helping others. And she will really discuss the importance of having systems and processes in place, especially when you have a new business, and even if you have existing businesses, it's really important to have system in place to help you. Welcome, Dr. OJ.
Thank you. Good morning, Ma. Welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. So let's go. It's time for you to create a thriving business right now. So let me say a little bit about Dr. OJ. Her full name is Dr. Oyinkansola Jinadu, but everybody call her Dr. OJ. And she is a philanthropist. She's a public speaker. She's an educator. She's an author, and I said an entrepreneur. She's a mama of 3 boys, like more. And she has a Bachelor of Science in Microbiology, Master's in Psychology, and PhD in Humanities. She has founded multiple businesses under the Honey Drops, right? Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then she has the Honey Drops Foundation, which is a 501(c) nonprofit organization. She sits on the board of 2 nonprofits, one as the president and the other one as the board secretary. She is the published author of 4 books, 5 training manuals, and over 15 published articles. Look, this woman is busy. She is a coach, and her mission is to guide entrepreneurs to unlock their full spectrum of success. She specializes in helping individuals harness their diverse talents and passions for unparalleled success. She also helps them redefine entrepreneurship by combining business and mindset coaching in a collaborative system to develop an effective business system and winning mindset to elevate their journey to new heights. She's a thought leader, an experienced international public speaker, a corporate trainer, a life coach, a podcast, and talk show host. Dr. OJ Speaks. And I want to welcome you again, Dr. OJ.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you so much.
Look, you are a very busy person, and I want to thank you for giving us this time to really share and to add value to my tribe. And let me tell you a little bit about my tribe.
Yes, ma'am.
The people that listen to the podcast, the people that make up my tribe, they are people that say, look, I have been helping other people to build their own life, to build their own purpose, to really fulfill their life dreams. I want to do something for me too. And some of them are still doing 9 to 5, but they are building a side hustle.
Yeah.
Some of them are thinking of retiring and they want to start building a side hustle. Some of them are already building a business and they want to scale their business. So I have a diverse group of people. Some of them really want to say, I want to be an entrepreneur. How do I do it? So we are sharing tips and strategies for them to be successful as entrepreneurs. And with your experience as a coach, and also with your experience as an entrepreneur yourself, I know you will add value to them. So I want to thank you for agreeing to come in and really share what will help them to be successful. So thank you and welcome again.
Thank you so much. I don't take it lightly, and I'm very humbled that you would even say all of these things. Thank you, Mom.
Thank you so much. So with all this education,
yes, ma'am.
So what inspired you to say, I want to create my own economy? I want to have my own business. What inspired you?
You know, my journey into entrepreneurship was not a very strategic one. It wasn't anything that was very, very systematic, as you would put it. In fact, my desire and my passion to create these systems and help entrepreneurs learn it so they can do better from the ground up is because I literally stumbled my way into entrepreneurship. It was, first of all, and like I say, you don't become an entrepreneur just because you start a business. So I need a lot of people to understand that. So for you to actually gain that title, you have to have built your business with systems that allows that business to serve you, that allows that business to be called a brand, that, you know, you've built things around it that people can identify with. That is when you're now pursuing the entrepreneurship journey. Because a lot of us don't understand it. I started out just wanting to survive as an immigrant in the United States. It was an initial survival instinct. You know the saying when they say, Naija no dey carry last. So even coming back from Nigeria, moving here from Nigeria from a very privileged background, I think the Nigerian in me was more authentic than I knew, because when I was left to what to do, how to survive, how to take care of myself, I literally started to think, what can I do? What skills did I have? I only had at that time my bachelor's education. And, you know, coming here, there is no reciprocity. You can't say, oh, you graduated from Unilag, automatically someone is going to offer you a job. They're going to require for you to do certain things to transpose that to fit the American system.
Yes.
So while you're doing that and going through the process, how do you survive?
Yes.
I started doing makeup. That was what I knew to do.
Yes.
I mean, I would say at that time, I was not even a professional makeup artist, but I knew how to do it better than the most people around me. So to them, it made me a professional. So over time, I eventually now went back to school here and then got my professional makeup license. And that was really when I started to see myself as a business owner. In fact, the word entrepreneurship was it wasn't a cool thing. I didn't even know what that was back then in about 2006, 2007. You know, now, of course, entrepreneurship is a very cool slogan. Everybody's, you know, doing their own thing. But the reality of it is why I literally did not plan it. I was going to come to the United States, get additional degree, and then go back home and continue on the path that I was on, because I was already working with the World Health Organization. Straight out of college then, straight out of the university. So my plan was, well, I'm going to go get an additional degree, and then I'm going to come back and take a higher position. Because in that position that I was in, even on an entry level, I was already traveling around the country in Nigeria with the WHO team and the Federal Ministry of Health team, working together to create solutions for public health issues. And I was like, oh, I absolutely love this. And this is really good. I want to serve. I want to go around helping people. It just made my heart glad that this is the one thing that I think I can spend the rest of my life doing. Traveling, teaching, educating people, helping people that don't know something that you know. And when you teach them, you see the light bulb come on. Oh my goodness. I absolutely enjoyed it. And that was what really pushed me. But then life had other plans, like they say. So I found myself in business, being an immigrant here. So that's how I got here.
I mean, amazing, amazing. I love what you said. You don't become an entrepreneur because you start a business. Look, you are so right. You know, because you can start a business, but it's more than that. And I tell people, again, I always use this thing. In marriage, love is not enough to keep a marriage. Love is not enough. So being that I sell something is not enough to say you're an entrepreneur. There's so many things that go into that. And you said you had to go and learn. You had to take education to become a professional makeup artist so that, you know, whatever you were doing then became a real business. You know, that's how it is. So fast forward, you then had many more businesses. I mean, I didn't list all your businesses. And I will encourage our listeners to check you out on your website. We'll have everything so that they can see all the businesses that she has. So you wear many hats.
Yes, ma'am.
So how do you balance all your business and your personal life? You are a mother of 3 sons. How do you do that?
Amazing. Thank you so much for that question. So there is no magical equation X plus Y equals to Z. No. But for me, the balancing act came over time, mastering it, making a lot of mistakes and errors, right? So when I first started my business, freelancing, doing this, doing that, of course, everyone goes through that journey where you're first self-employed. Now, after self-employment and your business starts to grow a little bit, then you become the business owner and you're managing things. But the thing is, you don't truly become an entrepreneur until you have systems that work with you, for you. So they're working with you to help make sure that you're able to keep everything going, stay on track, maintain the high standards that you started with, and then working for you when you're away. Like automating all of my social media. So if you reach out to me on social media other than LinkedIn, because LinkedIn doesn't have automation to the other social media, you will get an immediate response from me. On my website as well, you will get an email. You know, there's always something that would give you that knowing that someone is here to help you. And then also balancing it just over time, let's say in 15, 17 years, I've learned to create my businesses around my life, not my life around the business. Because it's become so much more important for me, especially as a mom, understanding that, you know, because once you get through the survival stage, and this is what I want to tell a lot of people, you know, when you're starting out in business and you're doing it to survive, it's okay. You're not going to have a lot of clarity about things. But once you get past that survival stage, you have to be very intentional about gaining clarity. And what does clarity look like? That means you understand that what is most important. For me, being a mom is my number one assignment. If I was a single person, no children, no worry in life, of course, the business will always come first. But I have 3 humans that I have to be fully responsible for. So now I have to now calculate that I need to build businesses around that life that I have. So now it allows me the flexibility to be available for them first and then be able to make money and impact second.
Creating the business around your life, not the other way around. That's it. You know, because that is the mistake that we make at the beginning. And I love that you were very honest. You know, I mean, I made the mistake at the beginning, you know, not being there for my kids, you know, at the beginning, because it's like, I had my 9 to 5, then I had my little side hustle, and then the one son had track and fields, the other son had drum lessons, and it's like, oh no, I need to go do this because we need that extra money to pay for your band, So at the beginning, you had to struggle, but eventually learning that you are all this money, you are making it for this. So you have to rearrange your priorities. Very, very important. Rearranging it. And look, we are honest here. We are not saying that when we started, we got it right. But we are saying that if I learned what I knew now, then yes, I would have done things differently.
Very.
Are you with me on that?
I am with you 100%. So, one of the things that I struggled with, and I say struggled with, and I have finally broken that, is imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome in the sense that I feel many times when I started my journey to training and helping people, I felt unqualified to be that person. And I always second guessed myself and said, oh, look at you. You've made all these mistakes. Why are you trying to teach? But listen, what qualifies you to be a teacher? What qualifies you to be a teacher is the knowledge that you have acquired, either through systematic learning or experience. And if you have acquired knowledge, the ability for you to dispense that knowledge to help someone do better, that is what a teacher and a coach does.
Yes. Yes.
So that's one of the things. And that's really, once I got that affirmation and I affirmed myself in the space that I am only teaching what I have learned. I'm not trying to misguide. I'm not getting on here on social media trying to say, oh, look at me, I have a program, I'm a coach. No, this is me saying, here, I learned this thing. I started my business in other ways around. But look, if you're getting started today, or if you're already in the space, let me teach you these systems that I've put in place that has allowed me to understand, first of all, business is not who I am.
Yes. Yes.
I am me. So I have to be able to create my identity solidly first, and then the business is built around me. And the me is husband, if they're in the picture, children, if they're in the picture, community, if they're in the picture.
Yes.
All those things are very important, because when you get to the end of your life, honestly, whenever that is, nobody's going to ask you and say, hey, businesswoman, hey, entrepreneur, how much money, what's your net worth? It's really going to ring in the hearts of people, your children, your family members. This person was always there for me when I needed it. My children will remember when they're grown and they no longer need mom. They're going to remember when I was growing up, I could always go talk to my mother. My parents are going to remember that, Oyinka always took time to give us a call. She would always check on us. Her business and her life didn't take over everything. So it's not going to be that, my daughter is a multi-billionaire. Okay, so what? So what?
So what?
How do people feel about you as a person? What is your identity when they think about you? They don't think about your business. They think about you. So I try to teach my students, build your business around your life.
And I would drop something here. We didn't plan this. One of the questions that some clients keep asking, when they're trying to build a business and it's like they're just struggling, and you ask them, why do you do what you do? They struggle in answering that question. And then really taking them back to finding who they are. So this is the thing. If you don't know who you are, if you don't know your purpose, we are telling you here that business is not it. It's finding who you are first. is so important. That will help you to figure out where the business will be in your life so that it does not overshadow your life, because the business is not you. You have a purpose why you were created. And when I put together, because eventually I had to come up with a foundation course where, okay, what are you looking at before you start? And we said love is not enough. The love of the product you created, the love of the system you created is not enough. So let's look at the foundation. That's why I came up with the foundation course. What do you look for before you even launch your product or system or whatever it is that you want? So now, why do you think system or process is important? And have you experienced a failure in a system that you trusted, that you think, oh, this system will work, and that system failed? And at that point, what did you do?
Amazing. Yes. Systems are very, very important for many reasons, right? Think about it. It's like I'm a faith-based entrepreneur. So the Bible says a person going on a journey, a very long journey, they have to count the cost and they have to make sure they prepare well, because you don't want to get halfway through the journey and then you remember, oh, I need something, and you can go back and you're not going to be able to get to your destination. So you're stuck. So systems are important because you're building a house. You're starting. The building foundation is the idea, the concept that you have that, okay, this thing, I can actually turn it into value, to offer it to people in exchange for value. Now, I say value in exchange for value. You see, I didn't say in exchange for money, right?
Money.
No, I teach my students to never, ever focus on money. Because when I started business, it was all about money, 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 money. There's not enough money. And I had a mentor that always used to tell me, please, whenever you talk to me, don't talk about money. Stop. And I'm like, what do you mean don't talk about money? Money is the main thing. He's like, no, don't talk about money. Talk about what are you going to do? How is this going to get you to your goal? What do you intend to achieve? And then what systems are in place for you to achieve this? So let me say where I failed in system, right? The system that I put in place was me thinking I could do everything. Was me thinking I could do everything. I could be everywhere. I could manage it because I feel like, oh, I can't afford to pay this person. I can't afford to do this and that, So I was the one just taking care of everything.
Everything.
Every single thing from A to Z, start to finish. Only me, solopreneur, solo business person. As hard as that can be, a lot of people, when they start out in business, you have to do a whole lot yourself. But I always say, now there's a way for you to craft your business where even though you are the one doing a whole lot for yourself, you are not actually doing it by yourself. So it's very important. So that's where I failed. That system of knowing that, oh, I can do this. No, I have my specialized skill set. So let me focus on that. Now I had to adopt being able to put actual workable systems in place that would help me. It wasn't the easiest thing. So yes, I have to run an ad for my business, for example, because people need to know that I'm here. While I might not be able to afford XYZ, what is the alternative for me to be able to do the same thing to get me started and then scale that up gradually? Right? I have to be able to do certain things for my business where, okay, if somebody emails me, I want to be able to give them an immediate response. I thought that was what I needed to do. But then I had to learn, there are automations. I had to learn about automations. I didn't know. A lot of business owners are not able to put the systems in place because, first of all, you only know what you know. Yes. And what you don't know is what you don't know. So we cannot say, oh, they are bad people or they're bad business. They just don't know. And that is why working with a trained professional like you, Ma, and working with a trained professional like myself gives you the opportunity to have that blueprint. So now you know what's attainable to help sort of shortcut your journey. so that way you're not wasting time, money, and energy like we did or like I did. And then you're able to get through it and save yourself a lot of hassle. Not to say you're not going to have your errors and omissions along the way. Every business, no matter how well prepared, you will still have those errors and omissions, which is part of the process of growing, right, for every business. But being able to put those things in place and having somebody guide you along the way, investing in some of these systems, it allows, because I'm a system myself. What I do is a system. What you do is a system. So when an entrepreneur plugs into your system, automatically they are going to be able to get a lot of what they need to put their businesses together without much of a hassle. Taking it from idea to implementation, to setup, and then to the next stages of scaling and all that other stuff that they need to do.
Yes, definitely. Hiring a coach or a mentor is part of that system.
Yes. Even I have a coach and a mentor, ma. I have a coach.
Me too. You know what? Even in this, my podcast, I have a coach.
There you go.
I have a coach. Yes. When you're talking about marketing strategies and all that, look, when you don't have, when your skill set is different, if you don't have skills in a particular thing, look for somebody that does. That's it. Because for me, if I don't have skills in something, it will take me days or weeks to want to do. And even when it takes me 2 weeks, it won't even be as good as what whoever has skills in it will have done for 1 hour. Exactly. So why am I then wasting 2 weeks? Do you know what? If I had spent 2 weeks on my own strength, what that one would look like for me. Yes, so exactly. I prefer to focus on my strength than to focus on my weakness. No, let somebody else do that. That's where the automation is. We don't have time to sit and then looking at, the email just came. You see that, my email has, let me return this email. No, the automation, so many little things. So as you are listening to us, I know that businesses are the same. So what can you do in your system? What system do you have in your business? Can you share with us? What system do you have in place in your business that is working for you? Please share with us in the comment section so that we also can learn from you. So now, what strategies do you use to maintain motivation, especially during this economic challenges that is happening right now? Because I've heard as much as nobody wants to dwell on the economic challenges happening right now, nobody wants to dwell on that. But again, we don't want to say it's not happening. So we want to help our listeners. So what strategies do you have in place to really maintain motivation that motivates you to keep going?
Awesome. So first things first, one thing I know is life would always happen. Whether it's an economic downturn or the economy is stable and it's booming and things are on the up and up, regardless, life will always happen to people, right? So the economy is one thing, but your personal economy is another thing. So I know when we started, you talked about creating your own economy, right? The first thing that really, really helps me is my spiritual grounding. I would say that over and over and over again. I don't know how somebody else who is not, how somebody else who doesn't have a faith-based background is able to survive in life and business. For me, that is the first place I go to. Now, once I have that squared away, now the next thing is for me to be guided and focus on what is working. The human nature is for us to focus on what's not working. The country is bad. The economy is bad. This is this and this and this. Let's leave that alone. Let's isolate what is working. There's always one thing, even if it's very little, that will be working that you can really zone in and zoom in on and just expand it. I can tell you that my ability to focus on my training right now in this season is because I had to look at all of my businesses and say, okay, where do I need to put all of my energy in the next quarter? In the next 2 quarters, leading to the end of the year, where do I need to make my biggest business investment for the rest of 2024? Because I had to test the climate, like a thermostat to see, okay, in this season, this is what is going to, first of all, sustain me and then help me stay afloat and then also eventually get me back above board. So what is working? That's what all entrepreneurs need to focus on, so that way you can focus your energy and you can stay motivated, because momentum breeds energy. If your momentum is slow, the energy will be negative, but positive energy thrives on momentum. So you have to keep figuring out what area in your business is driving momentum at this point, and then let me focus on that. And then if you look at it and say, okay, nothing is working. Okay, I know that's an abnormal, but then if somebody will say, well, Dr. Nothing is working. Okay, good. I hear you. Then we need to really go back to the drawing board and see whether we need to pivot away from all of the nothing to find something that will work. Because motivation is something that, like I say, motivation, yeah, we all want to thrive on motivation, but we can't live on motivation. We have to stay inspired. And inspiration is an intrinsic thing that you have to build up within yourself. And then being inspired also means being around things that helps you to gather that inspiration. That means working with a coach, having someone who is, who is holding you accountable and you're able to talk to, you're able to be guided by, and you're able to work with. So motivation is good, but I always like to say, I don't like to feed my students. I don't want to motivate you. I'm not going to, if I have to motivate you, then you don't need to be in business. Entrepreneurs do not thrive on motivation. Yeah, a lot of us are motivational speakers for a living, ironically. But as an entrepreneur, you cannot thrive on motivation. You have to stay inspired. That means you have to have something that anchors you so strongly to your belief system in what you're doing and who you are. And then being able to now redirect your mind to focus on what is working. And if nothing is working, the ability to pivot. You have to be able to pivot. You can't stay on a sinking ship. Like, one pastor says, we have to learn when the door is locked and when you're knocking and nobody's opening. There's nobody home. It's over. Yeah. Turn away. Move. Yeah, the location has changed. So that's really it. That's what keeps me going. I'm like, something's going to be working for me every season. If in this season I'm a makeup artist and that's working, let's go, let's run. But if I look at it and be like, this makeup business, okay, what is the next thing? What can work? What is going to work? So my ability to be sustained all these years in business is not because everything that I've tried has worked. Is 2 things that I told myself. Always the truth. I always tell myself the truth.
Yes.
If it's not working, what's the next move? Let's pivot. Let's keep going.
Yes. Yes, I love what you said about motivation and inspiration, because that motivation, you have to motivate yourself. Nobody can motivate you. Nobody.
It's like they give me a shot of motivation in the butt.
You have to motivate yourself.
Yeah.
They can do it rah in front of no. Motivation is personal. You are the one to motivate yourself. And I love what you said also. You have to be true to yourself. If nothing is working, you have to sit down and give yourself feedback. I remember when I was in even in corporate America, and even with some of my clients, when we have a session and they have a project and we come back again and I ask, how did it go? They have to give feedback of how it went.
Yes.
And they have to be able to be true to themselves. Is it what you did or what you didn't do? So that self-feedback is so important for you to know what the next step will be. Giving that self-feedback. And another thing you said is that if you can't find anything, if nothing is working, maybe you are on the wrong elevator. On Monday, I gave, my Monday inspirational Monday. What I did was, you have on an elevator, you have to stop and let people go. You have to stop and let people go. So my question is, what if you are the problem on the elevator?
You get off.
You should be able to get off. So if you're on the wrong elevator, you too get off. Get off the elevator and go look for the right one. So, if your business is not working, if there are challenges, because we know there's challenging times will come in a business. Even if everything is rosy, things are good, you might be going through a rough patch. We want to tell you that it happens. I want to tell you that you should hold on, but you are not alone. If you don't have the services of a coach, this is the time you need to invest in the services of a coach. We are here to support you. We're here to mentor you and really help you to see what you are not seeing. We always say when you are in the picture, you cannot see the frame.
You can't see the frame.
We will ask you questions to see what you are not seeing so that you can take real action that will put your business in the positive. So I really want to appreciate you, Dr. OJ. So what are you working on now? And can you share that with our listeners? I
can definitely share that with our listeners. But one thing I want to encourage everyone about is this, right? There's always a place to start from. And, when we talked about you getting off, we're not trying to be harsh to say, oh, you're a failure. You can't. No. It's understanding, first of all, who you are. Because sometimes myself, I've had businesses not work out that I've shut down. In fact, I started businesses and I thought this was it. I was so good at it. I had the technical skills. But over time, I started to understand that this is not really what I am supposed to be doing. So the failure of that business in part was being able to know that it just wasn't for me. It also speaks to the personal development process because a person who has not invested over time. And that's why, when you read my bio, my training program does not just teach entrepreneurs about business. It teaches about mindset. We have a personal development program that we merge. A person can choose to take it alongside our beauty of business coaching, whereby they first of all work with us to determine what their gifts are. That is a process. I have an actual journal that is prepared that we walk through. My students have a copy. It's available on Amazon, self-paced, that they can do. So that particular journal is called Journey into Purpose. Because it's important for me as a coach, anyone I work with, your profits and impact is simultaneous. We're no longer can business be done as usual. You see a lot of corporations are shifting now. It's all about impact, global impact, community impact. So now entrepreneurs also have to think of personal impact. How is my entrepreneurship impacting my purpose, the people I'm called to serve? I'm not just taking money out of their hands. I'm not just giving them a product or service in exchange. I am actually impacting their lives on a holistic level. Now my income can be justified. Because if my income cannot be justified with impact, I feel like a lot of us are getting it wrong. And for me, that's how I've chosen to craft my coaching business. And that's what I want people to go on my website to register for. It's available for them to take one over the other or to take it as a combo. It's on www.drojspeaks.com. I'm happy to, take a free 30-minute consultation call. If you book that, there's a link on there for you to book a free consultation with me for 30 minutes to discover, what your next steps are and how you want to proceed, to know what the best course or the best approach is for you as an entrepreneur. So those are some of the things. And of course, we have a few giveaways that we have on the website as well for you to just get started. Something that we want to use to encourage your spiritual growth. If you're not a spiritually inclined person, maybe I might not be the best coach for you. But if you're coming to me, there's going to be a lot of spiritual alignment in the things that we do, because I believe we're spiritual beings, not religious. I'm not a religious person, but I'm a spiritual being, and I approach everything that I do from that angle. To all people, I serve all people. But yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. I really appreciate you. Reach out to Dr. OJ. She has a free discovery call, and it's free, so that you can talk to her and see if you both align, and if there's opportunity for you to work together with her, and see what she has. If you have any question,
and they can follow me on social media. All my social media handles.
We have all the social media handle. We're going to have it. You can follow her on all her social media handle. We have everything of hers that you can follow her. I want to thank you so very much for the conversation. I hope you will come back. I hope you will come back.
I am happy to come back. There's so much to talk about in business. There's so much to talk about entrepreneurship.
She has written 4 books, right?
Yes.
I've not seen some of the books, and I hope we can talk about maybe one of your books.
Yes.
When you come back. So
no problem.
I will make sure she comes back.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I know how to get her.
I'll be happy to. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for listening. So this podcast, Create Your Own Economy, is presented by Claro Growth Resources. We are an organization that promotes the growth and development of individuals, organizations, and businesses. And we do that through coaching, training, and mentoring. Reach out to me for support. And also, we have a free discovery call or empowerment call. You can go to my website, www.clarogr.com/meet. And if you are not sure you are ready to start a business and you really don't know what to do, we have a 10-point checklist on the website that will help you determine how ready you are. You can also go to the website, clarogr.com/checklist, to see how ready you are. And I invite you to share this podcast with other people. Let them hear what Dr. OJ is saying about systems and putting systems in place. And write a review. Let us know the kind of system you have in place for your business. So we will see you in the next episode. Thank you, Dr. OJ.
Thank you so much, Ma. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. The best gift you can give me is by sharing this podcast with your friends, your family, and reviewing it, which will help this podcast to grow organically. If you want to create your own economy and live the life that you deserve, join my next workshop or schedule time with me. My purpose may as well be to help you on your journey. Visit clarogr.com/workshop. See you again next week.